Well, it's probably not a surprise to you that I buy quite a lot of hydroponic equipment. And every now and again, some stores will have something on special and I'll pick it up for a bargain just to give it a try. In today's video, I'm going to show you something I got sent for free. It was something from the Garden Smart shop, which is down in Melbourne, I believe, and that's the shop I buy all my AutoPots from. Now, this video isn't sponsored. They didn't send this to me personally. It's something that they do every now and again when you buy one of their kits. I think it's the intermediate kit I bought. I got sent one of these freebies. I also bought the 8-pot kit for this year's season, and I've also bought some other things from them. And in the end, I've got 3 of these things. So let me show you what they are, because they're really cool, but I probably wouldn't have gone out of my way to buy them in the first place. So this is the Smart Pot by AutoPot. So essentially, it's just a tiny, tiny AutoPot in its own reservoir. Let me explain. Basically, in here, this is the pot that you will put your grow medium in. In here is a tiny, tiny AutoPot valve, and I'll explain how that works in just a second. But that sits inside this system, which essentially is where you fill up your reservoir. So you can see there's a little inlet there, which you could actually plug into some 4mm pipe, and you could connect a few of these together with a little reservoir, which is super, super cool. Anyway, I've been running this just with a little lavender plant here. Let me see if I can get this off. So you can see that's got plenty of hydroponic nutrients in there. And to stop it basically flooding where the plant is, oh no, let me see if I can get this out. So to stop it flooding in there, you can see there's only a little bit of water at the bottom, is the smart valve, which is obviously fixed into the reservoir there. So it's just releasing water in an ebb and flow action like a normal AutoPot, but it's for these little houseplants. And I think this is a game changer for houseplants and also raising seedlings. I've had huge success raising seedlings in these this year. So let me explain how the valve works with one of their bigger valves. So the AutoPot valve plugs into 4mm poly, which you feed with hydroponic nutrients. I'll get back to that in just a second. Basically what this valve does is it lets enough water out until it switches off, and then as it dries, it lets this fully dry, fully go down, and then it will re-trigger and fill itself up again. And it just ebbs and flows all day. Now this is one of the garden dripper systems. I'll make a separate video about that, but you can get an idea of how it works. So imagine this float valve is just going up and down, up and down, up and down, creating that ebb and flow effect. And it basically means that your plants don't drown or they don't get wet feet for very long. So you can see down here, this little valve will just go up, let enough water in, that water will wick up through this pot into the growing medium, keep the plants nice and hydrated, always moist but never dry. And then that will just do that and drain its way through the reservoir. So what do we fill this up with? Well, I'm using this hydroponic cocoa peat. This you can get from, for me, from my local hardware store. And for the nutrients, I've got the AutoPot Part A and B, which I was sent with a different kit I purchased. So you could use any hydroponic nutrients for this, and you just mix it up per the manufacturer's instructions. So for this solution, we mix 5mm of Part A and Part B in 1 litre of water. And to make that really simple, I just use these little disposable syringes that I get from Amazon. So I can just suck up 5ml of solution, squirt it into 1 litre of water, then use a little funnel to fill up the reservoir. So anyway, there's a really short, simple video about cool little hydroponic systems that I didn't even know existed. Now, I'm probably going to go out and buy even more of these because I love them for houseplants. I think they'll be great with some of the things I've got in tissue culture. Once they're ready to come out of their jars, I'm going to whack them in these. It just means I don't have to worry about them so much. I can put a humidity dome on them, and then I know that they're going to have that nice, moist root system. They're going to be getting all the nutrients they need from the hydroponic solution. And it's another lazy man's way of gardening and also doing indoor houseplants. Anyway, what do you think? Drop a comment below, and shout out to Garden Smart Shop in Melbourne. As I said, not sponsored at all. They just have this advertised on their website every now and again as a deal. So if you're looking for some AutoPots and you see it as well, you'll probably end up with some of these too. And you know what? I really rate them. Really highly recommend it. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit me a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you can. It really helps out, and I'll see you next time.